Auntie at Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Thursday and welcome to Witch Life. This month we're talking about the witch's voice. And today it's going to be about deciding when to speak and when to be silent. Now we know from our studies of the witch's pyramid that we are counseled to be silent when silence is prudent. But however, we also have folk tales of witches who are often put into the role of counselors, often to kings and chiefs and other important people. We aren't always quiet and we aren't always speaking up, and learning what to do when is an exercise in wisdom. Now, it was Mark Twain who said never to argue with an idiot because they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. And social media exchanges bear out the truth of his observation. But whether we're on or off social media, it isn't always readily apparent when a dispute is an argument that's just conducted in good faith, and when you're dealing with someone who's just a zealot, an ideologue who's looking to score points, so they can brag to others about how they destroyed you and get their little boost of dopamine because, they don't have any other way to get it. It may be tempting to simply wash our hands of any such discussions that could be even remotely controversial, and good luck with that strategy, because even the weather and the state of one's health are acrimonious topics these days. But to go that route of perpetual silence is to abandon one of the responsibilities that every practitioner of the craft shares, to offer good counsel when the occasion calls for it. So, unfortunately, chickadees, we kind of have an obligation to figure out where the balance lies and to just do the best we can with it. So let's start about identifying idiots. Now, thankful there are noticeable patterns that we can pick up on, and when we see them in action, we can justify making an early exit from the conversation, because the longer we stay, the more material the idiot has to twist, distort, and misrepresent, and walking away deprives them of getting further ammunition against us. One of the things I look for are the people who ignore the substance of the argument you're making, and instead they attack you, or insult you, and they rely heavily on emotional assertions, and conspicuously do not present a counter line of reasoning. Another trait is that instead of addressing the points you make, or even acknowledging them, the idiot will simply restate their original case, and that's if they made one, and then they expect repeating what they've said to somehow convert you to their view. Even if you have said, well, there's this flaw in your reasoning, or I don't go along with this premise, and they haven't provided a logical counter-argument that would overcome your objections. All of these things are signs that the idiot is indeed an idiot, and they're just looking for someone to use as a scratching post, and they're not actually interested in conversation. We are witches, not scratching posts. Well, occasionally for our cats, but definitely not for human beings. So we do not have to lower ourselves to this level and subject ourselves to this kind of nonsense from people and of course this is if someone is acting in bad faith. Now, on the other hand, let's talk about discerning debaters, because a debater is an entirely different partner to have in conversation. Yes, this is someone who may present their case quite zealously and firmly, and they may come across as unyielding. But this is also the person who's going to care about what's actually so, what can be proven, what's a genuine gray area, and what's speculation that's ultimately just a theory that happens to fit the known facts. In a conversation with a debater, not only will they take notice of what your argument is, they want to know what your argument is. They want to understand your reasoning. Likely they will look at it piece by piece, compare and contrast it with their own, look for similarities, seek to understand the nature of the differences, and then figure out whether or not those differences are mutually exclusive. The debater is not trying to make someone look foolish, and their line of reasoning is not an attack on the person, even if they are relentlessly attacking an idea. But unlike the idiot who wants to be perceived as being right, the debater is concerned with and motivated by discovering what is right. And that is ultimately what makes the debater well worth talking to. So those are just a few thoughts I have on the subject of deciding when to speak and when to be silent. I would love to hear your views, either in the comment section below, or you can come see us on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. There's a link to join in the description box below, and I would be very happy to hear from you. But that's it for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye.